The smoke had not even finished rising when the rumors began outrunning the dawn. By sunrise, half of Konoha believed Naruto had slaughtered an assassination squad beneath the village with one swing of a sword that split stone like wet paper. By noon, the story had evolved. Some said he had unleashed a forbidden beast. Some said Minato's forgotten son had inherited a cursed war spirit. Others whispered the far more dangerous version, that Naruto had done it alone, fully conscious, fully in control, and had walked away without once looking back. That was the part that frightened the village most. Not the destruction. Not the dead. The calm. Naruto, Hinata, and Haku moved through abandoned tunnels below Fire Country's outer road as dust still clung to their clothes and dried blood darkened the edges of their sleeves. No one spoke for the first hour. The silence between them was too alive, too loaded, too full of the afterimage of what had just happened. Naruto walked at the front with no Zaraki resting over one shoulder, the blade still giving off a faint pulse, as if it had tasted the world properly for the first time and found it disappointing. Hinata's breathing had only just steadied. Haku's eyes kept drifting to Naruto's back, not in fear anymore, but in something even stronger. Recognition. The system broke the silence first. Report. Public exposure complete. Village emotional state, unstable. Host reputation growth, exponential. Immediate probabilities, containment attempt from Konoha leadership. External interest from enemy nations. Predatory curiosity from high-tier rogue actors. Naruto's voice remained low. Expected. Secondary report. Your parents did not pursue with force. That made him pause for half a second. Not enough for the others to notice. Just enough for the thought to slide in like a blade beneath armor. Why not? Because they were stunned? Because they regretted it? Because some part of them still saw him as a son? He killed the thought instantly. Regret arriving after power was not love. It was timing. They reached an abandoned shrine hidden deep in a moss-choked ravine by late morning. Broken statues. Collapsed torii gate. Rainwater collected in cracked stone basins blackened by age. It was the kind of place history forgot because it no longer served the living. Naruto chose it immediately. Temporary base, he said. Haku nodded and moved to inspect sightlines. Hinata remained still for a moment, watching Naruto set Nozarashi down against a weathered altar. You're hurt, she said softly. Naruto looked at the blood seeping through the torn side of his shirt. The slash from the Jonin leader had clotted badly. His left forearm still carried a faint black residue where Orochimaru's curse had once tried to burrow deeper. Tiny fractures ran through the knuckles of his sword hand like hairline cracks in tempered steel. I know. You should rest. Naruto's eyes shifted to hers. For a heartbeat, she nearly looked away. Then she didn't. Good, the system noted. Recruit stability increasing. I'll recover, Naruto said. Haku stepped back into the chamber. There are tags placed in the eastern path. Old, but functional. Someone used this shrine once as a relay point. Naruto's gaze sharpened. Remove none of them. Rewire too. Leave the rest untouched. Hinata frowned. Why? Because if someone comes looking, I want them to think they found someone else's hiding place first. Haku smiled faintly. A false history. A useful one. The system approved. Tactical we've applied. Camouflage through inherited fear is more efficient than concealment alone. Naruto sat on the cracked altar and finally let the full damage surface. The moment he stopped suppressing the pain, it came in all at once, his side burning hot, joints screaming from the release, ribs aching from impact stress, chakra pathways pulsing like exposed wires. His body trembled once. Only once. Then the system flooded his senses. Damage intake confirmed. Adaptation cycle initiated. Bone weave reinforcement in progress. Muscle fiber compression in progress. Killing pressure output ceiling increased by 7%. Naruto exhaled slowly. Hinata had moved closer without him noticing. Not enough to invade his space. Just enough for concern to be visible. Does it always hurt like this? She asked. Naruto closed his eyes. Only when I grow. That answer stayed with her longer than he intended. Outside, thunder rolled over the ravine. By evening, Konoha had already shifted into controlled panic. The council argued. A and BU moved in layers. Root began tracing tunnel maps they pretended not to know existed. The Hyuga clan sealed internal movement and demanded Hinata's return. The civilian quarter swelled with fear-laced fascination. Minato locked down the official story. Kushina refused to leave the war room. Naruto said almost nothing. Kakashi, however, understood something the others didn't. Naruto had not snapped. A child who snapped left chaos. Naruto had left structure. The underground base. Recruits. Controlled violence. Deliberate withdrawal. That was not breakdown. That was departure. And departure meant destination. In the war room, one elder spoke the word no one wanted attached to the Hokage's son. Defector. Kushina slammed both hands onto the table so hard inkpots jumped. He is not a defector. Danzo's visible eye remained cold. Then what would you call a shinobi who abandons the village, hides armed assets, kills intruders off record, and refuses lawful command? Minato's expression did not change, but the air around him cooled. I would call him, Minato said quietly, a consequence. The room fell silent. Danzo studied him. Consequences are contained, not sympathized with. Kushina turned on him with murder in her eyes. You think I don't know that tone? Don't you dare make him one of your calculations. He already is. At the edge of the room, Kakashi said nothing. But inside, something darkened. Because he too remembered a boy on the rooftop saying he liked people who stopped pretending love was the same as responsibility. And now the village was learning what happened when a child reached that conclusion before the adults around him did. Back at the shrine, night came sharp and cold. Haku prepared a small fire in a stone recess, its light low enough to avoid detection. Hinata sat near the entrance, Byakugan flickering in intervals to check the ravine. Naruto remained at the altar, shirt discarded, wounds exposed, black markings pulsing once near his forearm before receding again. The system spoke. Foreign residue from serpent-class corruption remains active. Analysis suggests latent compatibility. Would you like to weaponize it? Naruto's eyes opened slowly. Explain. By consuming hostile systems, you are not merely resisting them. You are learning their architecture. You may reconstruct inferior aspects under your control. Naruto looked down at the fading black traces along his skin. A curse mark? Correction. A domesticated mutation. A subordinate engine. His mouth twitched, almost a smile. That sounds useful. Warning. All useful things become dangerous when named too early. He accepted that. Across the chamber, Hinata's voice cut gently through the dark. Will they come tonight? Naruto answered without looking at her. Yes. Haku still by the fire. Konoha? Yes. Hinata swallowed. Then should we move? No. Both of them looked at him now. Naruto lifted his head at last. Firelight carved sharp lines across his face, shadowing the blood beneath his eyes and the healing slash at his side. Tonight decides how they approach me from now on, he said. If I run now, they'll think I'm uncertain. If I hide, they'll think I'm afraid. If I attack first, they'll justify everything they do afterward. Haku understood first. So you'll let them come. Naruto's gaze turned to the entrance where rain streaked across hanging ivy like silver wires. I'll let them choose what they want me to become. That line settled into the stone around them. An hour later, the first presence touched the ravine. Then 3. Then 11. Umbu.
Good discipline. Controlled breathing. High-end concealment. Root operatives mixed in among them like knives hidden in silk. And one signature brighter than the rest. Kakashi. Hinata's pupils tightened. They're here. Naruto rose, fastening his sword at his side. Stay behind me until I say otherwise. Haku stood too.
We can take the left tunnel and collapse the back path.
No.
Naruto took one step toward the shrine's broken threshold. Rain struck his face immediately, cool and clean against drying blood.
Tonight is not for escape. He walked into the courtyard as shadows gathered among the trees. Masks emerged. Cloaks. Blades still sheathed, but only just. Kakashi stepped out last, visible eye heavy with exhaustion. Naruto.
Naruto stopped beneath the shattered gate.
Kakashi. For a moment, no one moved.
Rain fell into puddles. Wind stirred prayer tags hanging from ruined wood. Nozarashi hummed faintly at Naruto's back, like thunder too far away to fear properly. Kakashi's voice was calm.
This doesn't have to get worse.
Naruto's expression remained unreadable.
That depends on why you came. One of our own disappeared with a clan heir and an unknown combat asset. A district was split open. Several foreign bodies were found in an illegal underground installation. Then you know more about your village than usual. A few ANBU shifted. Kakashi ignored it. I came to talk first. Did they let you? Kakashi's silence answered.
Naruto's eyes drifted past him, counting the hidden formation, the ambush lines, the root posture.
2 on the right for suppression. 3 with ceiling tags. 1 chakra net overhead. Danzo's influence everywhere.
The system provided immediate refinement. Engagement options, breakline and escape, 92% success. Incapacitate without fatalities, 71% success.
Total annihilation, 88% success. Psychological domination with controlled spectacle optimal. Naruto almost laughed. Kakashi caught the flicker. What?
You brought sealers.
Kakashi said nothing. You brought root. Still nothing. You brought people who never intended to negotiate. One of the masked root agents stepped forward.
By order of Village Security Authority, Uzumaki Naruto will submit to restraint and evaluation. Naruto turned his head slightly, eyes landing on the man.
The rain changed. It wasn't literal. But everyone in the courtyard felt it.
As if the world had leaned closer.
Say that again, Naruto said softly. The root operative drew a tag. Kakashi moved instantly. Wait. Too late. The operative flashed forward. Naruto disappeared. Not fast. Absent.
One blink and he was in front of the man, one hand around the agent's wrist, the other still hanging at his side.
Pressure blossomed. Not an explosion. A collapse.
The operative's body hit the mud on both knees so hard bone cracked. His mask split down the center. Blood ran from nose, ears, eyes. Naruto bent slightly, his voice almost conversational.
I gave you one chance to enter this place like human beings.
Then he looked up at the others.
You chose procedure. The entire courtyard detonated into motion. ANBU dove. Root sealers threw tags. The overhead chakra net dropped in glowing arcs. Haku vanished into mist. Hinata's Byakugan flared white in the doorway. And Naruto. Naruto drew Nozarashi.
The blade came free with a scream that did not belong to metal. The first wave of seal tags burst apart before they reached him.
Not cut. Rejected. The pressure coming off the sword distorted the paper, unraveling ink formulas mid-flight. Kakashi's eye widened. Everyone back. No one had time. Naruto swung once in a low horizontal arc. The ravine wall to his left exploded.
Stone, mud, and rainwater were hurled skyward in a single violent sheet.
ANBU scattered.
One operative was thrown hard enough into a tree to crack it at the trunk. Another lost both weapons and half his breath to the pressure wave alone. Haku moved through the chaos like winter embodied, Senbon pinning sleeves to bark, ice mirrors blooming only long enough to redirect angles and force spacing.
Hinata met a root agent at the shrine steps and did not hesitate. Her palms struck cleanly, elegantly, not with panic now but with judgment. Tenketsu closed. Chakra collapsed. The operative dropped staring at her in disbelief. A week ago he would have seen a shy heiress. Tonight he saw one of Naruto's transformed. Naruto advanced through rain and broken earth with no Zarashi in one hand and contempt in the line of his shoulders. 3 ANBU attacked simultaneously. Blade above. Tanto low. Wire from behind. Naruto didn't block the first. He let the blade bite into his shoulder. The ANBU had just enough time to realize that was intentional before Naruto's free hand caught his mask and slammed him face-first into the other attacker. Wire snapped across empty air as Naruto pivoted, letting the third operative's own momentum carry him into a knee that folded the man around its impact like cloth over steel. Damage recorded. Pain intake converted. Counter strength increased. Kakashi entered then, because he had no choice. Lightning flashed. Raikiri screamed to life in his hand, blue-white and lethal. Move. Naruto turned toward the sound and for the first time that night, genuine focus entered his gaze. Teacher and student crossed the distance in a blur. Raikiri met no Zarashi. The collision lit the ravine like a second moon. Mud vaporized. The ground cratered beneath both of them. Haku and Hinata were forced backward by the shockwave. ANBU grabbed branches and rock just to remain upright. Kakashi's visible eye hardened. Listen to me. Naruto pushed harder. I did that for years. The sword edge groaned against compressed lightning. Kakashi's voice dropped. Your mother hasn't stopped shaking. That did it. Not visibly. Not theatrically. But something inside Naruto slipped 1 inch off center. A kitchen. A broken box. A hand almost reaching. A woman finally noticing bruises only to run when another child cried out. The memory hit fast and ugly. Kakashi felt the pressure spike and knew immediately he had touched the wrong nerve. Emotional destabilization detected. Would you like suppression? No. Would you like release? Naruto's answer came with his next breath. Yes. The seal fragments still embedded in his limbs from older suppression protocols ignited one after another beneath his skin. Black lines spread across his right arm and collarbone, not Orochimaru's curse, but something adapted from it, something tamed and made loyal. New state achieved. War aspect, first bloom. Muscle output increased. Predatory perception increased. Killing pressure range expanded. Kakashi's instincts screamed. Naruto knocked Raikiri offline and drove his forehead into Kakashi's mask with enough force to send the jonin skidding across the flooded courtyard. The ravine shook again. ANBU hesitated now. That was fatal. Naruto turned, pressure flooding outward in a black, almost visible dome. Masks cracked. Knees buckled. 2 root operatives dropped their weapons before they understood why their hands had stopped obeying them. And then Naruto did something worse than continuing the slaughter. He lowered the blade. Everyone froze, confused. Rain hissed in the silence. Naruto's voice carried cleanly through the ravine. Look at yourselves. No one moved. You came wearing masks into a broken shrine to drag away a child your village neglected until power made him inconvenient. The words struck harder than any blow. Kakashi rose slowly, blood at the corner of his mouth. Naruto's eyes moved across them all. Did any of you ask where the underground base came from? Did any of you ask why I built it? Did any of you ask how long I had to disappear before anyone noticed I was gone? No answer. Of course no answer. Because silence had always been the village's most practiced jutsu. Naruto's voice dropped. That's what I thought.
Then a new voice came from above.
Enough. Everyone looked up.
Minato stood on the shattered torii gate, rain sliding off his cloak, eyes darker than the storm behind him. Beside him, Kushina landed an instant later, red hair wild in the wind, chakra already crackling around her like restrained fury.
Hinata stepped back. Haku's hand tightened around Senbon. Naruto looked at them and felt nothing simple. The system noted immediate internal conflict. Warning. Parental signatures causing irregular emotional compression. Recommended response, distance or domination. Kushina saw the blood on him first. Mothers always did. No matter how late. Her face changed for one dangerous second, not into rage, not into fear, but into naked hurt. Who did this to you? Naruto almost laughed.
The sound would have been cruel, so he swallowed it.
Minato took in the battlefield in one sweep. Broken mud. Kneeling operatives.
Kakashi bruised.
Root exposed.
His son standing in the center of it all like the still point of a disaster. This ends now, Minato said.
Naruto tilted his head. Whose version of ending? Naruto.
His name sounded different from Minato.
Not Hokage to subordinate. Father to son. That made it worse. We go back, Minato said. We clean this up. We remove Root from this operation. No one touches Hinata or Haku tonight. I'll guarantee it.
A murmur of outrage came from one masked operative.
Kushina's chains flashed once in warning and the murmur died instantly. Naruto studied them both in silence. Rain ran down his face. Black markings glowed faintly beneath his skin. Nozarashi pulsed at his side.
You're negotiating now, he said at last.
Kushina stepped forward.
Because we should have spoken years ago.
There it was.
The sentence he had imagined hearing 1,000 times.
Too late. Too accurate. Too weak to repair anything on its own. Naruto's jaw tightened once.
You should have done more than spoken.
Kushina's breath caught as if he had struck her physically.
Minato held steady, but only outwardly.
You're right. That answer actually reached him. Not because it healed. Because it didn't defend.
Naruto's eyes narrowed slightly.
Minato continued, voice low and merciless toward himself. We failed you. Not by accident. Not because you were hard to love.
Because we kept telling ourselves there would be time later.
Kakashi looked away. Some of the ANBU did too. Kushina's voice trembled. I thought holding everything together meant sacrificing pieces until the danger passed.
I didn't realize, she swallowed hard.
I didn't realize I was sacrificing you. That almost got through. Almost. But then Naruto looked at the operatives still surrounding the shrine and remembered why they were here.
Beautiful words, he said.
And still you brought chains. Minato didn't deny it. Because other people in that village are afraid of what you've become.
Naruto's stare sharpened.
No, he said. There.